What's going on, guys? So today I just want to give a heads up that I have another video over on the Thrunite YouTube channel. I didn't mention the last couple of videos that I did, but I also want to mention that they're doing giveaways now as well. So in their videos in the description box, you could find the links to that. In fact, in this video, there'll be a link to this comparison video on these weapons lights. I know a lot of you guys watching the channel do love the gun stuff. In fact, some of you guys came here just because of my old gun content, and I've mentioned this before, but currently pretty restricted with YouTube's rules and regulations and whatnot, their terms of service. But, you know, hopefully something changes in the future, and if it does, I'd love to show you all the gun stuff I've been doing, because I haven't stopped. I haven't stopped getting guns and using guns and trying things out, and one of those things are weapons lights. So these three weapons lights that I tested out were all on my AR556, AR15, which is fantastic, which I still love. I've actually accessorized it a little bit. I've gone back, back and forth with things. It's funny because when I first got it, I made a video on it talking about it, and I said I'm just going to keep it bare bones, and you guys laughed at me and said, yeah, right, no one does that. No one just buys an AR-15 and just shoots it. You got to slap stuff on it, right? It's like a giant Lego, system, and if you're not putting stuff on it, what do you have it for, right? It's funny because I did this with my Glock, totally an aside, nothing to do with this video, but when I first got my Glock 17 way back in the day, I mall ninja'd that thing out. I got every accessory possible for that, and at the end of the day, all of it came off of it, and I just liked the gun for how it was made by Glock. But anyway, as far as these lights go, I tried out the Thrunite BSS V4, all right, the 4th edition of this light. Now, I've actually done videos on this light in the past as just an EDC light, but this obviously has the separate mount, and of course the pressure switch, all right, so you can use that on your rifles. Compared that to the Streamlight Protac, all right. This one's actually pretty interesting because you have a temporary pressure switch here, but you also have a dedicated on-off button. Very audible click there, all right, but pretty interesting system there. And compared that to the Olight Odin, all right, which has a very specific mounting system, which, I don't know if it has any specific benefits if you guys aren't familiar with it. You basically mount this bottom piece, okay? The actual mount goes onto your rail system, all right? There's a locking knob here. You can unlock it, push this in, and slide the light off, but this stays mounted, on your rail. You would do this maybe just to take it off to charge it. It is interesting. There's actually a side piece here as well, so you can put it in a slightly different position. I don't even think I mentioned that in the comparison video. But, it's fascinating. I don't know. It's just, I like it because it's a novelty, but I don't know if I like it just because you're keeping that piece on there. It's not a huge deal or anything. It's just interesting. Of course, it's very different from everything else. And then also their pressure switch is an additive. All right. So both these models, the Thrunite as well as the Streamlight, your pressure switch is a dedicated tail cap. Okay. So if you want to use the light outside of the gun, you put on the other tail cap. The difference is that with the Olight Odin, all right, the pressure switch basically goes over the regular tail switch. All right, so it kind of locks in place. You pull this out just like that, that unlocks, and then it's just a magnet. So you have your regular, tail switch here, or you have your pressure switch, all right, which snaps on. And they also have a piece of rail as well for that that mount, in case you didn't want to do the whole zip tie thing or whatever else, other ways you mount it to your rifles. But anyway, yeah, just pretty interesting lights. I mean, it's kind of like every other comparison video. I do like all the lights. It's just some have, certain pros and cons over other ones. Some are brighter, some are cheaper. Generally speaking, the Thrunite lights are always a cheaper option. Whether you like what they're offering compared to the more expensive options, that's up to you. It just depends. Different features, different strokes for different folks. But the big thing is the actual beam shots in those videos. You can see how you're going to how the light itself is going to work, whether it's going to be a lot of throw or it's going to be spill. In the case of weapons lights, generally speaking, they do have a lot of throw because you're putting them on rifles. And what are you doing? You're shooting far with rifles. You're not generally, using your AR-15s within 10, 15 feet, of course, unless you have a little tiny one or something for home defense. But generally speaking, these weapons lights do project light out. It's not just a wall of light, okay? Because you're trying to shoot at distance. That's why you're using a rifle in the first place. If you want to shoot 10 or 15 feet, you're probably better off with the pistol. But anyway, just want to give you guys a heads up. I do have the video over there. There's new people subscribing all the time. And I just wanted to, make these videos just to give a heads up that I do have other content. But because it's specifically for them, I put it on their channel. It just makes it easier. They do ask me for my honest opinions. They do ask me to really test this gear and really give them feedback so they can make a better product. I always thought that was cool. I respected that. They're not just like, hey, we're going to pay you to make a video and you're going to just lie and try to sell our stuff. It's not like that. Obviously they want to sell their stuff, but on good merit, selling it for what it's actually offering. It's not always the best option for everyone. It usually is the cheapest option. That's why I've always liked their company. But it really comes down to you as the consumer, whether you want to purchase their stuff or not. Don't just watch YouTube videos and buy stuff because other people tell you it's good or not good. Do your homework, do your research, look around. But they do offer a ton of awesome lights, and I'm a fan of their company. But I've also been a fan of Streamlight. I've also been a fan of Olight. I like a lot of different flashlight companies, just like I love dozens and dozens of different knife companies. It's all about pros and cons. What's good for me might not be good for you. What's good for you might not be good for me. It's just one of those things. Just because someone else likes something doesn't mean it's the best option for you or your situation. It is super important to do your homework. Look around, and when you do find something you like, try to find the best price. Shop around as well. Be a good consumer. But that's for a whole different video subject, probably down the road. We'll see. So anyway, like I said, I just like to make these quick little videos to let you know they're out there. So if you were interested in seeing these, that's where you can find it. I'll put a link in the description box. But that's it for now. If you guys have a favorite weapons light on your rifles or your guns, let everyone know down in the comment section what you've been enjoying. I'd love to hear it as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.